All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and moving well. And I'd also like to give double honors to the man who taught them. Peace and blessings to the Akiyom, putting on as the elect, striving for perfection and that crown of righteousness by being obedient to what is written inside these scriptures. Shalom. This is your brother Kasad out of GMS Austin. Just wanted to do a lesson, just going into how these college protests, are springing up everywhere, man. You know, and we understand as the men of the Lord having eyes to see and ears to hear is going into the famine of the word, right? Because these protests is for a sign showing that, man, these nobody's believing the narrative anymore that Esau Edom is pushing, right? He's pointing at a group of people and saying that these are the bad guys, right? These are the bad guys. Not just the a couple people or a group of people that are inside those people, but all of them. Let's just do away with all of them at this point in time. And people aren't with any common sense are standing for that, man. With any type of decency about themselves, they saying that nah, man, it's not right what you're doing over there in Palestine. You're genociding, murdering, killing children, and women, just dropping bombs on everything and destroying these people's way of living and life, And these are college students, the so-called the brightest, right? The future leaders. These are people that are studying or study, they know how to math, they know science, and the math that Esau Edom is using, it's not mathing. All right, the math that Esau Edom is or the science that Esau Edom is using is not making any sense. Once again, so you have a protest popping up at all these campuses for all the murder that you see happening over there. So going back into the Hamas October 7th terrorist attack, which killed approximately about 1,200 Israelis, which is a lot of people, right? It's a whole lot of people to die, right? At any point, in any place, 1,200 people gone. That's a lot of people. But in retaliation, the Israelis army has killed 42,000 people, Palestinians, over the course of 200 days. Now, that's insane. 42,000 people. That's wiping out cities. All right. And it says over the course of 200 days. In 200 days, wiping cities out. It says 38,000 of whom were civilians, including 10,000 women and 15,000 children. All right, is what that 42,000 comes up to. It says the bodies of several thousand are still stuck under the rubble while thousands remain missing and are presumed dead, man. So people with any type of decency, human decency, they're not going for that shit. And they're not sitting back and just letting that genocide play out. So out here in Austin, Texas, they had a protest. These kids stepped out of class and said to hell with this shit, and they protesting everywhere. And also in Harvard, out there, all these big Ivy League schools, especially, but all these colleges, these kids are saying the hell with what's going on. You're not going to continue to send money, to Israel and to fund these missiles, to fund this genocide and everything. And people are mourning, because we have a wicked ruler in leadership right now, right? It was Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. The chief house of Edom is Amalek, the fake JOOs, the 1948ers that are over there right now, killing, raping, and pillaging everything. But this is Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So the wicked is bearing rule, and it's nothing but mourning, all right? Whether it's social mourning, all right, economic or political mourning, people are in an uproar and deeply divided in this state, because that's another thing. The protest, they're trying to say it's Jewish people against Arab people. No, there's a a multitude of different assorted people on both sides, right? And it just completely divided people, right? So there's so-called Palestinian people that got so-called white people with them, so-called black people with them. There's so-called Jewish people that got so-called Arab people with them, got so-called um, black people with them as well. So it's just people against people, you know. But they're all protesting at the same time this man of sin ultimately because of his rulership is wicked. And under his watch, he has promoted nothing but death, man. All right, because he was given that great sword to rule by. But this is Revelation 6:4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. The red horses, Esau, Edom. All right, the self-proclaimed white man once again. All right, he was given the power to take peace from the earth. All right, so long as he is in rulership, there will be no peace on earth. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Man, with that great sword that he was given back in Genesis, I believe the 25th chapter, all right, he's been ruling with that great sword, all right? And as the ruler is, so are the people. So it's been nothing but death and war and murder on the face of this earth, right? Which is different from what the scriptures say about when the true children of God, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites enter back into the land, that there will be war no more, right? When they enter back into their kingdom, it'll be war no more on earth. But it's been war, it's constant war, nothing but war here on earth, right? So these scriptures is how we can tell who the man of sin is, who the devil is, and this is what the men of the Lord are out there on the highways and byways doing. All right, they're crying out loud and spare not. They're crying out loud against the wicked abominations that are happening on earth. They're pointing out to the 2/3 of the house of Israel that if you don't get yourself right and clean with this word and believe on Yahweh who was here, who was sent here to wash us clean of our sins through his blood, you don't believe upon him, you will die. And telling these other heathen nations, starting with Esau, Edom, that you are the devil the Bible speaks of, man. All right, you are the spiritual demon Satan works through the Esau, Edom. All right, the Edomite. That's who he gets his power from. Right, so he's operating with that filth, with that nastiness. All right, upon him on a day-to-day, and he hates his brother Esau. He has a perpetual hatred, and he hates his brother Jacob, and he has a perpetual hatred for Jacob, Esau. All right, but this is Ezekiel 9:4. It says, and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So this is what the men of the Lord are doing, and that mark is a spiritual mark of exemption. That is the Wa. All right, you having that spiritual mark placed upon your head by an angel that is going through the house of Israel, seeing who is not settled on their leaves, who is not chilling out here in the midst of all this madness and confusion, right? Who's out here sighing and crying about the abominations that be done thereof, man? The men of the Lord, the house of Israel, which is a remnant, are going to be out here sighing and crying about what is going on the earth, man, because it is not in its rightful condition, right? Everything has to be flipped upside down, and this is what the second coming of Yahweh Shai is ushering in, the kingdom, okay? So he's coming to take the rulership from these wicked rulers on earth and, give it to the righteous rulers, man, ultimately. All right? So these people are mourning, right? So the protests are popping up, and you're starting to hear more the anti-Semitic word being tossed around, and this is going into the famine of the word, because it's all you are doing is speaking factuals. All right, this is what's happening. Just like I just read off the Google, those two little Google fun facts or whatever, situations is type them in right quick. Did you know this is what's happening? They're gonna say, "Oh, well, that's anti-Semitic, right? Because it doesn't go in the favor of the JOOs, all right? So first of all, it's not anti-Semitic; it's anti-Shemitic, all right? Shem being one of Noah's sons. That's who the bloodline Abraham, Isaac, Jacob comes from, all right? So it'll be Shemitic, who the so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native Americans are, Shemitic, being Hebrew Israelites, all right, comprised of the 12 tribes of Israelites, ultimately. So we're the real, Shemitic people on the face of this earth, first and foremost. But they would like to say, and because, we fit the curses, right? The curses fit us like the glove. The scriptures say these curses that are talked about in Deuteronomy 28:68 will be on us for a sign and a wonder. All right. So when you see Jake lost out of his damn mind, Eve lost out of her damn mind, it's because they got curses on them. All right. And these curses are likened to sores and wounds. So they stand out, putrefying sores. They stand out and everything when you see Jake, operating, doing dumb shit and madness and folly. But let's go on to this right quick. Going to that Semitic deal. So the Holocaust, right? The timeline for it is 1933 to 1945, right? And there's history upon it, that they put up on it. Once again, this is another thing that's happening. People are checking receipts because they say, damn, y'all lie about simple shit in the time of information where people can just quickly Google check something. What the hell was going on really back then? When you had newspapers, news writers, and everything. We understand that the victor writes the history. And so we see that you've been victorious and you've been writing history. So what else did you leave out ultimately, man? I'll tell you one thing you left off. You left out the flight, the struggle of the so-called Negro race, right? The so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American, Indian, right? The 12 tribes of Israel that were scattered, in the world for not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But you left off everything that they've been enduring since they've been here on earth, man. All right? You left off the struggle and how they're still struggling to this day. It's just a joke to the self-proclaimed white man. He makes mockery of the lifestyle of Jake, He's given Jake this wine to drink and these philosophies and doctrines of madness. Do as thy wilt, and then he's making fun of Jake when he's out here doing this mad shit that he's doing. But man, you've been massacring Jake off for a long ass time, man. All right? You've been doing to Jake whatever you want to do to Jake for a long ass time right now. And it's in the history, man. All right? If you do a further enough search, you can pull up some things going into 1921 Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? And how you was bombing that place, and man, just a whole bunch of different places that you were committing massacres at, man. All right, it's a whole line of places that you was committing these massacres at, man. Massacres in U.S. history. It's a website. It's called Zen Education Project, teaching people's history, and then they like to tie our flight with the LGBT people in the movement and everything, which is how you make joke and mockery of the Negro, Hispanic, Native Americans' flight out here in this world, right? And how you do not take them serious, and you never given anything for any of these atrocities. For any of the treatment that the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American, Indian has received and still receiving to this day. All right? So, but I'm going to name off some of these massacres starting back in May 26, 1637. The Pequot Massacre. Hundreds of Pequot villagers were massacred by the Puritans, okay, in Mystic, Connecticut. Right? The Puritans, people who were supposed to be religious and very pure, right? July 27, 1816, the Negro Fort Massacre. The U.S. Army firebombed a fort on the Apalachicola, Appalachia River in Florida. Right, August 6, 1855, Bloody Monday. On Election Day in Louisville, Kentucky, Protestant mobs attacked German and Irish Catholic neighborhoods. All right. In July 13, 1863, New York City draft riots and massacre. A New York City draft massacre riots were the largest civil insurrection in U.S. history besides the Civil War itself. White mobs attacked the African American community, committing murder and burning homes and institutions, including an orphanage. Right? This is major things that you'll never hear about. This is 1863, before the Civil War. It says April 12th, 1864, Union soldiers massacred at Fort Pillow. So Confederate troops massacred over 500 surrendering Union soldiers, majority African American, at the Civil War Battle of Fort Pillow. Just a bloodthirsty man. All right? Just bloodthirsty in all your ways. Right? And November 29, 1864, it says Sand Creek Massacre. A Colorado cavalry unit, on orders from Colorado's governor and ignoring a surrender flag, brutally attacked Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes. White abolitionists, and I got these allergies. Abolish, Silas Soule was assassinated for reporting on the event, and this is what you did to people who reported rightfully, the rightful truth. You just executed them. Now you want to execute their character, assassinate their character, but back then you would just assassinate the person whole for telling the truth, man. Aborigines. What is this? No. But December 9th, 1864, Ebenezer Creek Massacre. People who had escaped from slavery and were following the Union Army were blocked from crossing the Ebenezer Creek, leading to their death, man. So these concentration camps, all right? People pining away from hunger and disease and everything, And this is after slavery, so these people had nowhere to go. They know nothing, was putting their trust in you, and you just leading them to their death, because your wickedness that's within you. So this is May 1st, and to the 3rd, it says 1866, Memphis Massacre. White civilians and police killed 46 African Americans and injured many more while burning houses, schools, and churches in Memphis, Tennessee. Right? And what they do when this troop finally comes out, they build a statue, a memorial. But these people, lives who was taken, these houses that were burned down, businesses, and the wealth that was stolen from these people and everything, is never heard of again, right? So you just give them a piece of metal or something and say, yeah, it's bullshit. At the end of the day, there's no justice from it. There's no reparations from it, restoration, recovery from any of these things, man. But yet, you talk about 1948 like it happened yesterday. This is July 30th, 1866, New Orleans Massacre. The New Orleans Massacre occurred when white residents attacked black marchers near the reconvened Louisiana Constitutional Convention. Now, so-called blacks, right? These were individuals, American blacks, all right, trying to be a part of the political system, These are people trying to be a part of the USA, at this point. But this is September 1868, Camilla Massacre, as African Americans marched peacefully, right? Always marching, protesting peacefully in response, exercising their First Amendment right, freedom of speech, all right? Protest things that ain't right. So as African Americans marched peacefully in response to their expulsion from elected office. So they're in the office. All right, this is 1868. They already in office, so that goes to show they not stupid. African Americans wasn't just out there picking cotton and didn't know shit, you know. But labor. No, they knew laws. All right, they knew the laws, and they was operating like that in those offices and everything. So after they was kicked out of the office, going to expulsion, it says from elected office, more than a dozen was massacred in New Albany, Jersey. So they took them out there and they killed them. Right, September 28, 1868, Appaloosa massacre in response to the promotion of voter registration. Once again, just trying to be a part of this bullshit ass society, a KKK like group massacred hundreds of people, most of whom were African American. And the list just keeps on going, man. You know, all the way up until current date. You know, all the way up until current date. It just keeps on going, man. All right. You know, you got to understand that, you know, it's always been oppression. Jim Crow laws, you know, implemented right after 1865 Civil War. You know, black codes, Jim Crow laws, things that you can do anything and get arrested and be thrown back into slavery, you know, and be counted as worthless. You've always been counted as worthless here inside of this society, and they've never given you anything for it. All right, White League attacks black voters. Deadly election riots took place in Barber County, Alabama, against African American politicians and voters, just wanting a better life. You know, going about it the wrong way, of course, trying to be a part of this society, a part of this world, and everything. You know, the wicked world. Now, the Lord wanted you to created us to be that righteous seed on earth. So ain't no getting along with the wicked. You know, everything we do is going to be an abomination to the wicked. So they want to make us abominations ultimately. And then once you're an abomination, you can just it ain't nothing but death then coming for you. All right, December 7th, 1874, Vicksburg massacre. White people attacked and killed many black citizens who have organized for a black sheriff to remain in office during the Vicksburg massacre. Man, this, like I said, it just keeps going on and on and on. Wounded Knee massacre. A Lakota encampment on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation was attacked by the U.S. Army, and close to 300 Native Americans were murdered near Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota. Right? I mean, these are just things. Let's see. Right? And it's just gonna keep on going, man. All right, hate crimes, the massacres. You know, what you've been given, what you've received since you've been here, and you know they've strategically used the black woman to idolize who they are. You know, they've been using the black woman to idolize the self-proclaimed white man. You know, to idolize the oppressor. You know, so they removed the black man out of these houses, right, since the earliest days of slavery, and they've used the woman to idolize their oppressor. So you got these little boys and girls growing up idolizing their own oppressor, you know, giving them the one they call Jesus Christ in this world, painting them to look like, you know, a self-proclaimed white man, right? Just from the earliest day, as soon as you're born, this man is being idolized inside the so-called black household, so that man he can do no wrong. You know, you just getting hit with all this oppression, all this Holocaust, all these massacres on a day-to-day, right? But he can do no wrong because you've been brainwashed ultimately, right? But the men of the Lord have come out here to tell the truth, man, and to prophesy against them. This is Psalms 10:5. It says, "His ways are always grievous; thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them." All right. So the ways of Esau Edom is always grievous. The judgments of the Lord is far out of his sight. This white man thinks that the Lord is with him. All right. He thinks that the Lord is with him, but the Lord has ultimately just set him up for a great fall. All right. But man, we've been fed nothing but lies by the forger of lies. All right. It talks about here in Job 13:4. But ye are the forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value, man. This is who the Edomite is on the face of this earth. So, man, why would you believe him? Scripture says, never trust thine enemy. All right? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know that, man, this is the end of his rulership, right? Because the mighty men of the Lord, the Israelites, the Negro, Hispanic, Native Americans, the ones who've coming out of that darkness, the remnant are standing back up on their feet, operating in righteousness. And the Lord is fighting for us, man, in the time frame in which we're living in. And the whole world is starting to sing to the same tune, the same beat of the drum, you know, so to speak, condemning this Edomite for who he is, condemning this world for the wickedness. All right? They're crying out for the righteous rulers and everything, man, more and more in the days in which we're living in. But I'm going to end it on this. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors, man. Haven't given us anything for all the death, robbery, and murder, right? No, we don't need to give them reparations because we don't know how to find who were slaves. Everybody was slaves. Any excuse in the book not to repay them for anything, but yet a 1948er can come out the woodwork and say, yeah, I'm Jewish on my mother's side, and welcome. As long as he's an Edomite, welcome to Israel, right? And take part in that inheritance. Nah, man, these days are over. That lie is dead now, man. The lie is over with. Everybody's seeing right through you that you are nothing but a goddamn bum, man. All right? You the lowest of the low at the end of the day. You are the lowest of the low. But this is Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all they had looked for. Right? Because when the Lord returns to destroy this place, he's also getting ready to deliver us, the remnant of the house of Israel. So we're going to see the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, or this world in which we're living in, this society, this kingdom, this empire is going to completely fall and collapse into nothing, man. Rulership is going to be over with. All right? The strangeness of it, because the Lord is coming with the so-called UFOs and UAPs. All right? The chariots. He comes riding on a cloud, man. He's going to call us up, and he's going to send those lasers and those ICBM missiles from the other countries down to destroy this place, man, and deliver us up out of it. Wisdom of Solomon 5:3 says, and they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Yeah, man, these Israelites that we treated very illfully, all right? These Israelites, these Negroes, Hispanic, Native American Indians that we had that perpetual hatred for, all right? We never wanted to treat them right. We never wanted to do anything for them, right? This is what they've been saying on the highways and byways was true, right? And Wisdom of Solomon 5:3 says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb and reproach, man. Damn, called them bywords, all they want to do is fight and have sex all day long. They lazy, they stink, all this shit, that they poured on us. They threw on us that abominable filth. Wisdom of Solomon 5:4 says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor, man. Just his life worthless, of vanity. He's just nothing. He's just out here following along, doing whatever. He's our little puppet and everything, right? Wisdom of Solomon 5:5 says, how is he numbered among the children of the Most High, Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints. It says, therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. So no, man. All right, your blessing ultimately was your curse, and our curse was our blessing, because with us being put and trodden down, put into this low condition, never receiving anything for any of our labors, at the end of the day, was a blessing unto us, because it made us look up and say, something's not right. All right? If these so-called people and that, 1948ers get this, that, and the third for this, that, and the third, but we know we suffering. We still suffering to this day. All right, we don't have a place to call our home inside of our own home. So called the land we built. Right? It said something's not right. Right? So it made us realize that our power Yahweh has put these curses upon us so that we can be whooped ultimately back into obedience. The scriptures talks about Yahweh as though he was a son. He learned obedience through the things he had to suffer, and so are we. But man, just wanted to do a lesson going into how this devil is being found out. The whole world is crying and sighing about the wickedness and abominations that these people are doing, man. All right, and how the remnant of the house of Israel are standing on their watch, and this is what they're going to be doing, entirely, right? And this is what they've been doing, and the whole world is starting to listen. So, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, for giving us this truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to see these things happening. Blessed are our eyes for we see these things at the end of the day. But I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching us this truth and ruling well. Peace and blessings to the Akiyon, putting on as the elect. Shalom.